Good morning. So I'm out with the dogs on a walk. Yesterday I didn't do that many videos. I had a really good day yesterday. I went and I met with Hoye and we talked about the workshop and I feel like I'm set in motion. This whole thing, it feels like everything is set in motion and that it's being born out of me, and that I feel like the dust is clearing or the smoke is clearing, and I'm starting to see things more clearly, and things are opening up for me. Like, I see that this whole workshop thing is kind of opening up a whole new world to me, a world where I more belong to, and it may not even, well, it's probably going to come into a workshop that I'm going to be doing, but it more feels like I might be opening up um, just a space to be, like a sacred space to be. We were talking yesterday that maybe I was thinking that I might do it on the Jordan River, that I might actually just have, make a camping trip or a full day on the Jordan River where we connect to the, back to ourselves and back to the earth. It's still coming together for me, but what I do see is that this is coming together, and it's kind of like, it feels like it's a little bit above me, or a little bit, it's like it's what's meant to be in the natural state. And as I'm coming into it, if I've been shaking around for the last couple of months, like, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, now it's starting to feel like everything is settling. And I feel like actually it's just coming into my natural self and where I naturally need to be. Yesterday I had a really good conversation with Hoya when I was there, because we really pinpointed what it is that I'm feeling. And the truth is that I feel like on my spiritual journey, there is nowhere more for me to go other than bringing people with me. Like, the only way for me to expand on my journey is by bringing others along with me, and in that I expand myself as well. As an individual, without bringing and teaching others, then there's nowhere left for me to go by myself. I've gotten there, and now it is like I've gotten to a place of God's work almost. I feel like it's almost like a hand comes down from heaven and says, okay, you can't go further without bringing people along with you. And then I started and am still a little bit going into myself, like, who am I? How am I going to do this? What do I need to do? And one of the things that I was talking to Hoyi about yesterday, and then I'm going to show you where I'm at because it's just so beautiful. It's still in bloom. There's these, look at these, the flowers here, and everything is just so pretty. Look, they're sticker bushes, but look how pretty they are. They're just beautiful. They're beautiful. With all their white going through them, and it's just beautiful. Everything here is just so beautiful. I feel like if that is, if it feels like God's hand came down and said, okay, stop. You have to bring people with you. And then I started going back and forth and forth. There are the dogs over there. They're probably looking for rock rabbits. There's my two, and then that little black dog that I've showed you before that looks like Rexy, but over there is Mom. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. This is where I'm at. It's windy, so I imagine that you're hearing a lot of wind. I'm going to pause this because I want to sit here for a little while, but I know it's windy and I don't want to talk, so I'm going to pause it and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm headed back. And I feel like I see these videos and I see how many times I say I feel like, but that's just what I have to say. That's what these videos are about. That at first when I felt like I can't go on without bringing other people, it started making me feel like, what do I have to do? How do I do this? What am I going to do? And it's the ego mind. Like, it's all me. I have to do it. And I have to make it happen. And how do I get it to happen? And lately, what I've been realizing is that it's not all, it's not, if I know that on my spiritual journey, I can't go on without bringing more people with me and spreading whatever it is, the connection, the bringing people into the light, then it's divinely guided. It's not mine to do everything and to figure out. That's my ego mind. That's my disconnected mind that is thinking, oh no, how am I going to do this? Me, what can I do? And what are people going to think? It sounds crazy what I have to say. And then I remember that if the messages that I am getting, and I know that I'm getting messages, if the messages that I am getting are that I need to spread out and bring people and get into that is what I do, then I don't have to have it all figured out. It comes through me naturally. It's not mine. So I can trust in the divine. And another thing that we had a conversation about yesterday, it was one of the first times that I've wholly openly said this to somebody, especially to Ro'i, which I really respect him and consider what I trust his wisdom and his connection. And I can see the truth in what he says. And in that, yesterday during the conversation, I told him that honestly, he asked me what it is that I want to give. And I started talking about, what I'm going to make the workshop about, which I'm not even sure about anymore. What I am sure about is that this is going down. And the quicker I get in, that I overcome my fears, the quicker it's going down. That's just all it is. If it's going to be going down anyway, I might as well just overcome my fears and do it. Because just sitting and procrastinating and worrying about it and what am I going to do and how am I going to do it and all of that, all of those answers will come while I'm doing it. There's a lot of things that are unknown that you just can't know until you start the process. I think I forgot I'm holding my phone in my hand because I think I forgot my recording stick at Roi's. I'm pretty sure I'll have to get a new one. It's a cheapo one that just stands. It costs like 50 shekels. It costs less to get a new one than to go there and pick it up. So what I do know is that this is being born out of me, and in that I have like some kind of, it's not all my responsibility. This is something that's coming through me, and if it's coming through me, then I can trust it. It's not mine. I just have to move forward and allow it to unfold for me. And in that trusting, this morning I got up and there's something in me that is just calm. There's a calm, like a coming home. I feel like finally it's a feeling of like coming home. Like, oh, okay, so all I really need to do is bring what I naturally bring and allow the flow to come through me. And that in that whoever is working with me or alongside me or across from me or whoever is drawn to me will get the messages that they need to get from the divine, because that's what is coming through me. And in the conversation yesterday, what I was saying, this phone without that thingy, what I was saying is that it was one of the first times, because we were sitting down, he said, okay, what is it that you're going to be, what is it that you do? And when I really sat down to think about it, I've been thinking about this workshop and putting it in words. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And nothing really sits, and I haven't been able to get anything to come and to solidify into a program. I have kind of, but we were also working on what to make like a sentence of who it is. What do I do when somebody asks me, what do you do? And I started thinking about different things. And then I told him, if I'm 100% honest, I channel messages. There are messages that come through me, because a lot of times, I'll be talking to somebody and whatever comes through me is not mine. And I know this because there are things that come through me that how do I know that? Where did that come from? There are messages that come through me that I get the message as they come through me, as they flow through me. And I'm like, oh, that is such a good message for me. And so in knowing this and fully embracing this, then I can kind of let go, because I know that it's not me. It's just what's coming through me. And then I can allow it to come through me. And also, one of the things that has always been stops me is I'm afraid that, what if somebody comes to me and I get like a mind freeze and I don't have the answers. And when I realize that it's not me, when do I not have the answers? When it's the ego trying to answer. That's when I don't have the answers. But when I realize that it's really not me, these are messages that are coming through me, I don't even have to worry about that. I can just trust that whatever needs to come is going to come, and that the answers will come also through me. It's not something that I have to worry about. Will I have the answers? What do I know? That's all the ego mind. And even if the ego comes in and the answers don't come, that is also all part of it. That is also all part of it, and that is exact, and that's what needs to be. And so being able to open up and talk to him about the channeling and what it is and how I feel about it, it really it set me free. Because I told him when I understood this, it set me free. And he said, that's only 50%. The other 50% is when you own it, is when you're able to go out and say, this is who I am. This is what it is. And he gave me homework, which is to actually sit down and write. Like, I'm going to go through this field. See, this back here is, they used to grow roses. Not very many people grow any. So I'm going to be going through this field and then over there. And so the homework that I got is to make a video first of all, I need to put together, look, there's all these flints that are like ancient tools. You find them all over the mountains here. These are, think about it, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. People have lived on these mountains. This would have been, this is the Galilee. It's the Garden of Eden. People lived here. They created tools out of flint. They hunted. They gathered. They planted. And look, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, they worked with nature, through nature, and kept the land clean. Every once in a while you find a flint or you find an ancient coin. Just in the last 100 years, look how much junk we're putting all over the earth. I mean, just the last, 100 years since plastic? Probably maybe even less than the real industrial plastic. And now you can't even walk out of your house. Look, you can't even walk out of your house without finding plastic. There's plastic in everything, everywhere. And you think about thousands and thousands and thousands of years that people lived here, and that nature stayed intact and beautiful and full. And just in the last 100 years, how we've totally raped the land, dirtied it. We're disconnected. And see, that is part of the teaching, to connect back to the nature and feel connected. Because if we loved nature, like nature loves itself is also us. Because nature provides for us where our fruits and vegetables come from. You know, it's all love. The whole language of the land is love. So if we were connected back, and look, everything is in synchronicity. I want to show you this. I don't know if you can see it. See? There's a bug in there, and there's more bugs over here. And that one over there. See, everything is in synchronicity. Everything works together with everything, including us. We are an animal. We eat from the land. We're not disconnected. But as a species, we feel disconnected. We even wear plastic on the bottoms of our feet to disconnect us from the ground that we walk on. So I feel like that is part of my message, is connecting back to the earth that we come from. And in that, you connect back to yourself. Connect back to your true purpose. Connect back to your being, and connect back to nature, earth, the land. We are part of it. Oh, this meat body is made up of this earth and of nothing else. That's all we are. I mean, the earth, the body. And then we have the spirit. The spirit, the soul. Spirit is of the soul. So I feel like that is really the message. And so the homework that he gave me is to actually come out and talk about what channeling is and how I realized what channeling is and all of that. And it kind of hit me like, but the more I talk about it, the more it feels right. Because I know that I would be curious, what is channeling? I remember when I first found Abraham Hicks. And her name is Esther Hicks. And she channels Abraham. She says that you could call it whoever you want, but she calls it Abraham. And when I started listening to her, and just the things that she was saying are so correct and so give you so much peace, that I got over at first it was like, oh, she's crazy. What? She's like, she talks about herself in the third person, which already hit me like, ugh. But I get it. When you're channeling, it's not you. It's coming through you. And if I start saying, it was like what I was telling him yesterday when we started talking about the subject, I said, the truth is, I can't stand behind it when I say that it's me. Like if I say, oh, I say this or that, and I know it's not me. I know it's what I'm channeling through me. It's what's coming through me. It's like trying to take credit, and it feels like uncomfortable for me to try to take credit for something that I know that is not mine. It's simply, and not only that, when I try to take credit for it, my ego gets in the way. And my ego stops the messages from coming through. And then they don't come through. It's me trying to make something or try to be something. When I allow the messages to come through without taking credit for them and saying, this is coming through me, it kind of lets me off the hook. It lets me be free from it. And then I don't have to take responsibility for it. And I don't mean in lazy kind of way. I mean in a way that I can just allow it And it's not a representation of me. It's a representation of what passes through me. And so the homework that I got, look at this. This is beautiful. Look, and it has bees. It has 2 bees sitting in it. Can you see? It has more than 2. It has 3 bees sitting in it. Beautiful. There's a whole bunch of those now. Everything is in bloom. The bees are happy. Down here in the valley, they spray. They bring an airplane in and they just spray the crap out of those fields down there. And I don't know how. I don't know why. Knowing all that we know, how that is still happening. It just seems barbaric to me. It just seems so disconnected even from what we already know. We're killing we're all a part of this. It's like we're killing our brothers and our sisters. But we're so far disconnected. But I feel like there's a whole movement of connecting back, and I feel like also this light that is coming through me is for that purpose, because we've gotten to a place that people are searching, and I need guidance. And I think that every single, everyone has messages that come through them. It's not just mine. It's not just me. It's everyone, every person. The thing is in order to channel these messages and actually differentiate between them and yourself, you have to tame the ego. And to tame the ego, that means that your higher being has to, first of all, recognize the ego and separate it from itself, and understand that the ego is just a tool for this life experience, a tool that allows you, first of all, survival, because your ego is the belief that you are separate from everything else, and it actually holds in it all of the different emotions, all the different emotions, including the survival emotion, which a lot of times, if it's not tamed, if we think that the ego is ourselves, then we are giving over our power to a lower power, because the ego has in it, like greed, get more, because it has a survival mode. You have to eat in order to stay alive. So all of the holding on to things and trying to adjust everything and trying to make things a certain way and fighting against cause and effect, the way things are, instead of working with the universe, working against the universe, or trying to take from the universe more than you give. It's out of whack. It's out of sync. So it'll always, what you put in is what you get back. So if you're putting in out of sync, you're going to be out of sync, and your life is going to be out of sync, and you're going to feel disconnected, because you are. And so these are the messages that come through me that aren't mine. And because how could I know that other than going through myself and realizing those things within myself and overcoming my own ego, and in that way being able to help others overcome theirs. And so we were talking about it, and I told him, really, the truth is that I don't feel like these messages are mine. They're coming through me, and I feel like I channeled these messages. And in all honesty, that is the only, coming out and trying to say that it's me I think that's where I've been stuck all along, because I know that it's not me, and then it's trying to take credit or trying to, because if I'm thinking that it's me and I'm saying that it's me, I don't have the answers. But if I know that it's the divine coming through me with the messages, then I can always trust that the answers are going to be there as long as I allow for them to come through. And then it gave me like this extreme peace. I still have to overcome the coming out and saying it. For some reason, it's really easy for me on YouTube to come out with all of this, but on Facebook, where it is, it's more my people, people that know me a certain way, to come out all of a sudden and say these things is kind of funky. So part of my homework is to make a video explaining what channeling messages is in Hebrew, which is like hitting close to home. And it's overcoming it also with my family. I have to admit these things in front of my family, my kids, my parents, my siblings. I guess it'll make me that much stronger. But I also could feel, like he said, that that by coming out with it and saying this is what it is will free me. And I can totally see that. It's like, it'll be like, oh, I can breathe. Because I think that holding on to this is, first of all, it's holding on to my life purpose. Because if these messages, I found a lemon, but it's no good. There's all sorts of things that fall off of trees and roll down. I think that by fully embracing this, it's going to give me a lot of peace. So yesterday I didn't make a lot of videos. I made a video on my way to Hawaii, and then after that I was just, first of all, I was in a really good mood. I went to the spring over here first time. Nobody was there, so I got to get in. I got to get in naked because there was nobody there, and that's a lot of fun. And my twin sent me a message yesterday with a link to a video to watch, which I watched all the way home. And look, there's these fruit here. They're ripe now. I don't know what they're called in English, but they're just falling on the floor. There, this tree isn't picked. These are the kinds of fruit that the whole tree gets ripe all at once. Thank you. We still live in the Garden of Eden. We still live in the Garden of Eden. Look at this. It's the Garden of Eden. Thank you to the tree. And thank you to the earth for all of the abundance and the wonders. How many different types of fruit there are. And to the ground and to the sun for ripening the fruit and bringing the life light. And thank you that I live in these times that I can still appreciate this life and the light and all the wonders. And I can still walk out into nature and find the abundance. We live in good times. We live in good times. I mean, appreciation. Pockets full of sunshine. So I'm filling my pockets full of sunshine. And literally, that these fruit had to have had sun. I'm filling my coffee cup. These these fruits, their life light, their life came from the sun, just like we did. See, we're all a part of it. When you look at nature in that way, you start to appreciate everything that is. You start to appreciate it, really, everything that it took to make this one fruit. Everything that had to have happened and came into perfect synchronicity for one fruit to exist. And you see how like half of these fruits, so you can see that we're part of nature. I'm doing this all together. You can see that part of nature, because half of these fruits are eaten by the birds. So this tree provides for, not just for humans. We're not the only ones here. There's so much life all around us. All the plastic that we put in the ground, we're not the only ones here. That's enough. There's plenty for the birds and for other people and for the earth and for the worms and for the bees and for the replenishing the ground. You see, by nature, the rotten fruit fall to the ground and they refurbish the ground. What do? We go around and spray the ground so that other plants, which we call weeds, won't come up. But the weeds is what protects the ground. And then the weeds fall back down into the ground and become part of the ground and nourish the ground. See, these are the things that we are disconnected from. Okay, so I got back home. I'm going to stop this video here and get my day started. So have a wonderful day.